So, hey, everyone, let's talk. Let's really have an engaging conversation today. And I'm really excited to be sitting with all of you. We rarely ever get to sit and just, ponder on life and our existence and everything that we do. And I really want to engage in a conversation around building within the city because there's a huge surge of a lot of developments that's happening, and I want to get all of you to share your insights on like hashtag real talk on a growth and gentrification ownership and how founders can still scale up and still support and develop their vision while being able to stay rooted in the city that's ever growing and becoming more expensive. I don't know who wants to go first.
Definitely expensive.
Yeah.
The cost is costing.
Yes.
I think I've seen this scenario play out in other urban communities, ones that I hail from, like Brooklyn to now. And I think there's a lot of effort on, administration side to try to create, affordable options inside of these new builds. I think I see statewide incentivizing new developers and Black and brown developers to step into the game. And so that gives me hope. Meanwhile, I think it's also the reality of also seeing like apartments go exponentially higher every year, or seeing even commercial spaces become inaccessible to our people and our entrepreneurs who want to contribute back to their city. And so for me, I find myself at least in rooms where EqualSpace is kind of the fort or the last preserve for some of those entrepreneurs and so forth to stay in these downtown corridors. And so I really shout us out because I think we're vocal to everybody about needing to like create more resources and access for the entrepreneurs, the social justice, not even talking about the not-for-profit sector.
Yeah, I see that. I definitely see that. I think what's so interesting is that when you're looking at broader market, even 20 years ago, because being born and raised here, broader market looked very different economically and also socially. And people were definitely outside more. There was a lot of experiences more. But what I've noticed is how barren it's gotten. And you would expect there to be a difference in the past 20 years. I feel as if when I was younger, my mom would take me to Ashley Stewart, which was like right off the right on Broad Street, and then we'd be able to go and pick up some light groceries, and then we'd be able to go to the McDonald's, and then we'd be able to really travel and traverse and be able to get a lot of those things. And I feel as if there are a lot of small business owners who can really fill up those spaces that do exist now, and also there is still space for chains to continue to grow. I think we need to find that balance of having some chain restaurants to anchor, because we understand that there are some economics that go into making sure that these people are making money. We live in this society. That's how the world moves forward. But then also giving space to small business owners to grow into that, to become a medium size, to then become their own version of a chain. So I would love to see how we can be more mindful about creating programs, a matching program, and having a sit down with a lot of these real estate developers and being like, we will support you bringing in a chain, but that also means in the other two buildings that you have, you bring in one chain, you bring in two small business owners. What is the quota that we can reach to really make a great matching program to increase the amount of people who are shopping? Because you want more people downtown, more after hours. You have to give people a reason. You can't just say, I want people to show up. What is the reason you're giving people to show up? What do you guys think?
So one of the main topics that's talked about, like these large convenings, is live, work, play, right? The live component is only to a degree of rentals. The work component, everyone works here. Play, there's next to nothing here. So if people want to actually be accessing this space, what are the resources that are actually available here to actually want to keep people here? How many grocery stores you find out in downtown Newark? How many pharmacies? How many places are there to own? Right? There needs to be real conversation with not just the real estate owners, not just state and city, but what about the philanthropic dollars? Getting them all together to see what they can actually do to create incentive programs, to keep gentrification low, to keep the small businesses owners, to actually enable them to grow like we've been able to do.
Yeah, I agree. To your part, I grew up going to downtown Newark. That was like the place you went to go shopping as a family. You hop on the bus, go right down to downtown. And I just feel like it's changed so much over the years. And then you have these little areas where nothing's changed at all. Even throughout all these years, like some of these storefronts have been the same since I was like 9 years old. So I think it's also just a lack in like maybe supporting businesses that already exist here and trying to help them and get to the next level, and then also holding space for new businesses. But yeah, it's really unfortunate because you see a lot of changes going on in Newark, but like the heart of Newark, which is Market Street downtown, is not really getting the love that it should. And it's the perfect place for business owners, the perfect place for shoppers and owners to open up locations because, like I said, it is the heart of Newark.
Yeah, it's even thinking about when you go to New York, because we always try to compare, every city tries to compare itself to New York. But if we are going to compare, I would say the most comparable area would be 14th Street and Union Square, right? When it comes to Military Park and the way that it's designed, because it's an entry point for a lot of people, a lot of buses, and even the light rails. Having more stationary places where artists can showcase their artwork and allow people to like buy their artwork, or you can have continuous vendors, not just during seasonal, but every single day, no matter what season it is. I can go to Union Square and get some shea butter from a local person. I can get some like old school DVDs. I can get whatever I want. And then I can go to Whole Foods, and then I can go to a local comic book shop, all within that area.
Not the DVDs.
Yes. Listen, I'm trying to bring, yes, listen.
No, that definitely has a place. I agree with you. Like Military Park feels like Madison Square Park. It feels like Union Square. I think they're models. They're models to look at, and I think you guys really hit it on the head. And I think our small businesses need to scale with that.
So on that note, actually, what does it actually take to move from grinding solo to building sustainable systems, teams, and spaces?
I mean, I don't even know if I have the degree for that.
But you have the experience.
Yeah, I do have the experience. Like, so, but it's tried and true, right? So many people, I think, ask how did EqualSpace go from like just me and my co-founder at the time to having like all of us together, right? And it's a lot of it was working relentlessly to build up capacity to do so. It started with our founding team member Kelly, who stepped in as an intern because of a grant opportunity, right? With City. Shout out to City Hall, shout out to Workforce Development, calling the names and the resources. But that program brought Kelly into my life when we were exploring what EqualSpace was going to do, right? So that was one way capacity built, and then I hustled myself to make sure that financially we could sustain at least one team member. And then from there it became another addition of part-time, and that's sustained by if your business is growing. So for me, it was never the big leap of getting a loan because I wouldn't have gotten approved for a loan. I tell small business owners all the time, people were not banking on EqualSpace. In most instances, people didn't think there was a need for an EqualSpace, and we were proving them wrong. And so I think there are, and I'd love for y'all to talk about some of the other resources we've seen that are out there for small businesses to try to grow from being a solopreneur.
Yeah, I can even think of a program that connection point, because we are directly connected to so many entrepreneurs. But Impact New Jersey is a prolific international course that is taught all over the world, that was brought back over by an amazing lead, Asine Hall. Shout out to Susan. And she really wanted to make basically a master class and a business degree in like 6 weeks for an entrepreneur. And usually that's really expensive. So standardly the class would cost between $600 to $800 in total for 6 weeks. But she was able to work through the funding to make sure that entrepreneurs only had to pay $25 to be able to get into that class. We had people sneak in, you know, they were like, oh, but it was so amazing, just and so dynamic. And Angie, I know you were there for a lot of the experience.
Yeah, no, it was really good. And just like the differences of people that were attending, you had young people, you had older people, you had people that never had started a business, you had people that are being the first people in their families to even just try to start a work successful in starting their business. So it was really good. It was really good.
And I think that's amazing because then it gives you structure, right? A lot of my journey was like trial by fire. And then later, you know, intensely studying up on what I didn't know. But I'd love to hear about programs that are like empowering early entrepreneurs to know the game. And I think if I was going to add on to that, would just be like sustainable systems means that you're not operating a business that will be at negative.
Yep.
That you, whatever product or service you're providing isn't costing you more to provide it and to create it than it is that you're bringing in the income. And I think I've learned that a lot from you, Jonathan, is like, you know me, I'm real quick to be like, yes, let's do it. And yes, let's, but is it sustainable?
Yeah.
Because if it's not, then I'm actually hurting EqualSpace. And I think I did that for like a while, right? When like Medina was just running wild saying yes to people. And the team was like, don't do this. Don't do this. This is not an intervention. This is not an intervention. This is a manifest space.
No, but it is true though. I mean, I've worked for other companies before where they kept chasing the new shiny. They kept chasing a new project without ever knowing what it cost the company to actually run those projects. So yeah, we were making money, but we were constantly losing and burning money by not focusing on the core mission, because we were just kept chasing the new project because it was a new dollar amount. And while it sustained us for a little while, eventually it just kept burning at both ends. Like, that's not a model you can repeat. You have to know your numbers. You have to know what your revenue lines are. You have to know what your expenses are, so you can make adjustments if you need to. But if you don't know how much money you're spending each month, what are you going to do?
And those numbers inform and manifest your projecting out what you want. I think oftentimes we've all been in a room where we're like, in order to do women innovation, what is it going to cost us on a budget, and how do we manifest that? Plus, I mean, Kelly and I were on with an amazing art advisor who was telling us, where's EqualSpace's line item? And it's super important, because if you don't, you do start off with a great idea at negative. And I think we manifested so much of our receivables based on, this is the number, and we need this number in order to be successful. And it's really been a game changer. And I want other small business owners and entrepreneurs to know that there's no shame in trying to make money so that you can do what you love to do. For me, that's one of the goals. I love what I do, but it also keeps my team and my family together. So that's extra motivation.
It's important to pay yourself.
Yeah, but then on the topic of paying the team, like, how do you grow the team, right? Part of that is like, yeah, so we started, we have a couple key team members. How do we expand? How do we grow? How do we bring on people that understand the mission, and we'll be able to sink in those hours that are needed, right? How do you take that extra step?
Yeah, I agree. And when you have a good team, that helps you with the money, making money, because you can't do it on your own.
Sure can. I just wear a hat.
Many hats.
All the hats.
So Angie, do you want to segue? I think you had something you wanted to
Actually
rock
brings
with
us to a great topic of mine, which is why community, shared resources, and proximity matters for us, for founders, and mental health issues in business survival.
That's a heavy one.
Yeah. I mean, I think community and shared spaces, especially being at EqualSpace, you really see the importance of it. And especially with Impact NJ, because it's one thing to have an idea for a business, it's one thing to start it, but when you have community and people to help you to build that business up, that's everything. Because an idea is nothing if you don't have a team, if you don't have people to support you. And I think one of the biggest things I got out of that Impact NJ, from the students is not only are they leaving with the tools, they're leaving with a group of people that they're connected with, that's going to support their business, that's going to be at their ribbon cuttings, that's going to, that's going to really work with them. And I think that's the most beautiful part of it all, because can no business survive unless you got someone to support you, and, so it's very important.
And big shout out on that, though, because community is so important for us, right? Every day, I think we talk about community. But it was great to be with them at their graduation and see the lieutenant governor affirm that it's about community, but also talk about we wouldn't have even been in the conversation if it wasn't for Jamila Cooper Savage, who was at Seton Hall on the community side, who put our name in saying this should happen at EqualSpace. This will because EqualSpace brings X amount. So it was community that even made that
even possible.
And that's how it's in.
It's very cute.
It was my god, that gave me life. I've looked at that clip a couple times. So we had people jumping, double dutching in front of our space the other day. It made me remember summer. It made me remember double dutching in where I grew up in the projects. I was taken back.
Everyone, all the students, they have a WhatsApp chat together now. So they get together.
That's awesome.
They're gonna keep in touch with each other. So it's really like they really built their own support group just there, there.
And that's really, really important, because your network is as important as your that financial income that you bring in. Because if you're able to really have a strong base for a community when things do go awry, or when you are looking for new opportunities, or you were looking for someone to bring in as a new team member, it's better to get references from people instead of like just going out into the ether and getting some random person from Indeed. You want to be able to be like, hey, my friend who I've known for a long time knows this person and has already vetted them. And it also allows you to keep the dollars internal. If you really want to make sure you're hiring more Norkers, ask another Norker. If you want to be able to really bring in a new small business owner to collaborate with you, ask another small business owner who's local. That's how you keep it in the community.
Low-key, that's how we built this whole team. Angie's the only one that blessed us by crossing our paths. Like,
that's true.
We'll talk. Our whole team has been built by Vibe recognizing Vibe. Like, you think about DeRay, ran into DeRay at Newark Tech Week, and I'm like, Vibe. Barry was a referral from one of my good friends, Ryan, who's another business owner in the city, and like Barry vibes hard. Barry is a vibe. But it's all been built, through proximity. Jonathan and I, 1 degree of separation, and I stole Jonathan, and that was amazing. But I think that's I was like, but more importantly, I just like segueing off your question, how has like us being our own community, right? EqualSpace, because people come to us and they're like, Angie's always the plug, and Angie always has the answers, and Kelly always has the answers. Oh my God, Jonathan helped me with my numbers. And like, guys are such givers. And we were just at NJPAC, and it made me think of you all. We're always giving, right? If we're coming into a room with an entrepreneur, in many of those instances, we're trying to support and help them. But like, how has this internal team helped your mental health? Because there be days.
I mean,
there are days.
You know what? I think we each have like vent partners. So we vent to each other. So like when things are going on, and I think we also breed a community of being able to vent. Like you can express it. If you're frustrated or if you need support, it's like it's not bad to be like, hey, I'm stressed out, or I'm at bandwidth. And that's also how you figure out the gaps too, to avoid things from falling. And I think that as we continue to communicate better with one another, we were able to really catch things and see things in foresight before they even would fall. We were like, oh, that potentially is like edging to the edge of the counter. It's the cat of life is like slowly pushing it to the counter. And we're like, we're gonna put that, in the dish rack.
No, for real. I've seen us, like, I think people of color, which is our team, right? Our team is all people of color. We've been brought up to be with a shame complex about saying, I'm at bandwidth, or, hey, I can't do this because I have X amount, right? And all of a sudden, in other spaces, that means you're incapable or you're not good at what you do. Yep. And I think what I've seen is that we've broken that down, where I appreciate hearing from Angie's like, hey, I got 7 of these things to do. This 8th thing, how important is this 8th thing? Because this 8th thing, it ain't finna get done unless it becomes a number 1 thing. And I love that, because then don't we always find the way to be like, oh, well, take these. I did it for Jonathan today. Jonathan had a
Million
stupid
things.
list.
Yeah. Yes.
I'll
Crazy.
be clear, that was a stupid list, and I was able in like 5 minutes to just take 3 things off,
Yeah.
and that took no lift. I love that about us now, because that was not what it was like. I would say last year, we were all like silently.
Well, it's also a testament to the type of work environment we have here, because it's not easy to go into a workplace where you feel comfortable enough to say that I'm at bandwidth, or I'm overwhelmed with stuff. Like, you have to even get to that point. So I think it's a testament to just the culture and the space we have here, that we're able to not feel afraid to say things like that. Because I ain't gonna lie, when I first started, I'm like, well, goddamn, I can't do all this, but you grow, and then you tend to learn your coworkers, and it's really a space where you don't feel judged. If you feel overwhelmed, you're gonna get help. So everyone makes it really easy to be like that. So
And
I appreciate that.
I would love to take a moment to also ask you, Medina, because you also speak about how, as a leader, taking care of your own mental health helps you become a better leader. So can you talk about how, like, your own mental health journey, and like how that helped you become a better leader?
Sure. Which mental health breakdown would you like to talk about?
All of them.
Number 5002. That one.
So I think that's just struggle bus. That was struggle bus for me for most of EqualSpace. It was hard. A lot of what Angie said, it was hard for me to start being humble, to go, I am overwhelmed. There's no way I can get this done, because in many instances, when you have all of you looking at me, it becomes very hard to go, I can't do that, or there's no way I can fit this in, or how am I going to do this? Because there's a lot of unseen work that I do that I don't want my team to be a part of, because I firmly believe there are things that you would get in the way of y'all being in your excellence, right? And that's my role in certain parts. But it's been very comforting to have you all be advocates for me sometimes, when I need, my daily practice. I need to meditate every day. I meditate 3 times a day. And it's not so much a spiritual practice as it's a resetting of my nervous system to deal with stress, because I think we're all dealing with stress. So being able to advocate when I need 30. Matter of fact, yesterday, Jonathan came through heavy. We were running back-to-backs. And let's not lie to people. If y'all see my schedule, it is a schedule of a mad person. And oftentimes everything is back-to-back to back-to-back. And it is what it is. In so much as I'm built sturdy. But Jonathan actually ended our meeting early to go, Medina's got 30. And then slacked, Medina's taking 30. Or Angie will body block for me and go, no, he's in his office. That is what it is. We had a very high profile person just happen to walk into our space, and you still made sure that I got like my ending of my meditation. So meditation's been great, and realizing that I was perpetuating the same thing I kept telling y'all not to do, which was like, I wasn't communicating. I wasn't saying I can't do it. So that's how mental health is protected, and you got to be the example if you're going to tell people, hey, what's going on. Also, we're real human to each other.
Yeah.
If someone's like, hey, I got this to do, like, we all know, if Princess Dammy got something, we all like, all right, we good. Same thing with like Jonathan. I think we understand each other as humans, y'all.
Yeah, we do.
Like, because that'll make you less great. So then I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to bring it to it. We work with communities that are considered marginalized and or targeted or under-resourced. We don't use that kind of language to talk about our people. We asset frame them as great and underbedded on. But I think that it brings to me is like, and I hate saying it, in a time such as this, it's the most overused thing to say.
But really appropriate right now.
Unprecedented.
These
times.
unprecedented times. You know, what we all dealing with, that we have
Very
always dealt
precedented
with.
if you voted right. Very precedented.
Wait. But I'm just saying, for our people who are impacted immediately by what we're all experiencing, how are you seeing our people own wins and still take ownership during this time? Because we in these streets, right? We're not in boardrooms. We are working with real entrepreneurs at every stage. Some are seasoned entrepreneurs, some are just starting. So how are you seeing our people like own their moments?
So it's funny, I actually was talking to one of the nonprofit organizations that we were working with earlier in the month, or last month, I should say. And it really seemed like last year everyone was just kind of chilling, taking stock, trying to figure out what the administration was doing, what the focus was, and how to actually gain those resources. This year, everyone is doubling down. Everyone is doing programs more often, bigger, more connections, because they took last year to figure out who the organizations are that are still doubling down, still doing the work in spite of all the roadblocks. And they really work with them to create these new programs and get them out the door immediately. Like we've been saying all of Q1, this has been our busiest year yet, and it's entirely because of these organizations trying to do more.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely think two main areas. One thing I saw the other day was just like, don't let them steal your whimsy. And I feel as if, listen, Black and brown people, sometimes we be a bit too unserious, but I think it pays off because it allows us to continue to smile and laugh through, through these hard times, right? You still find ways to find humor in how crazy life is. And I think that's so important, is to make sure that you're always finding humor and joy, because when you're finding humor, you're finding grace. And when you have grace, that is where the hope lives. It's like there's still a semblance of hope that exists. And in connection to that, I think it's also carving out your community and carving out people who do not serve you. And I feel as if as time has progressed and as many of us have learned from history, and now that history is more accessible through the internet and we are learning from our predecessors how they were able to navigate even harder times, it's like they carved out their own spaces and they pushed. If you are not serving me, if your preferences are not supporting, then I'm not using my dollars to support you. Or if you are not saying the right thing that I need to hear, I'm not going to hear from you anymore. I'm not going to listen to you anymore. I'm going to block you. I'm going to remove you. I'm going to make sure you are removed from our community, and calling out people when they're not serving. And I feel as if all of those elements coming together of protecting your joy, protecting your peace, protecting others, and then actively removing people who are not serving your cause, your needs, it really puts us in a better place, because then you're able to strengthen the community and make sure that nothing can permeate it.
I agree with that, especially like building community with like-minded people that think like you, and service too. Like, it's okay to service a community that's built for you and around you. You want to cater to a certain group, because I just feel like it's needed. And like I agree, community and speaking up and just feeling like FUBU, like For You By Us, like they did it back then, and it's just like, yeah, you have to have community, you have to believe in yourself, and then I agree with all that.
If I could like put a bow on that, I love the For Us By Us, by the way, because that's FUBU in and out. I think there's been, just because of the wide range of just hurt that people are feeling and obstruction that people are feeling, there's almost been like a universal reckoning of understanding as other people are being marginalized and othered. But for Black and brown folk, we have understood and lived this reality. And so some of it is not shocking. And some of us are like, this is what the time is right now, but it is not tomorrow. And we won't keep planning for tomorrow. And we're going to keep on moving forward. I think that's why we're seeing us like win forward in spite of it and move around it, because we're nimble and we're built for it. But the reclamation of hope and the act of joy, I think that's the other thing. Joy is an action. Like, we treat it like a feeling because it is felt at the end of it. But joy, for me, I have been running to joy. I've been called one of the funniest on the internet these days, because I'm like sending out
those reels.
I will send out anything. I'm your personal social media curator, because I want you to laugh and I want you to feel joy, because if they rob us of that, then they're robbing us of the ability to move forward. They're robbing us of something that I think makes brown and Black communities the best, which is we are so unserious when things should be serious, because it is our act of joy, and that is resistance. And so if that's anything, I'm prayerful and thankful to be in resistance and joy with y'all. So this has been Manifest Space. Thank you so much for tuning in. We love it. We love you. And we hope you go forward, because there's nothing but space and opportunity. No, we good. We ain't doing 4 minutes today.
He said.
Union.
Union.